It is March 21st, 2018, and this is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Raj Giri. Mr. Matt Morgan will be coming along soon, and it's the morning after. The morning after Daniel Bryan made his triumphant return to the WWE ring to announce he's cleared. After a 2-year hiatus, Raj, what's the entire story on this?
So it appears as if, he's been working on this forever.
Oh, definitely.
He's been talking about for years how he's been going to see other doctors, and basically they've all been clearing him except for Dr. Joseph Maroon, who's the WWE medical director, and his opinion is the one that counts. So I think it was Dave Meltzer that reported that finally Bryan went to Maroon and said, like, look, what do I need to do to get cleared? Like, name me the most qualified doctors that I should see that would change your mind. And he gave the names of a few doctors. Bryan went to all of those, got cleared, then went to Maroon and got cleared finally. So, it seemed like there was something in the works, right? First, from this storyline, it definitely seemed like they're leading to a tag match. Bryan hadn't been on SmackDown the last few weeks. The storyline was that Shane McMahon sent him home so, he could have dinner with Owens and Zayn. And that was the last time we saw him. And then, he made those remarks to the National over the weekend where he talked about possibly wrestling at WrestleMania. And Daniel Bryan, he's one of those guys that he won't completely BS you, right? Like he knows the business. He knows when to stay in storyline, but he doesn't outright lie. But so when he made those comments, it definitely, seemed like it was something that could happen. And we talked about it Monday night, how it definitely seemed like a possibility. Like it seems like it's happening, but when it happens, it's a whole different thing, right? It's still a shock, even though you're almost expecting it.
Well, and I didn't think it was going to happen like this. I thought they were going to announce something on the air and that he was going to be in the match and let everyone assume, essentially the surprise we got last night in that last segment of like, oh no, this is not Daniel's going to be doing this really safe, restrained style. I mean, he was doing those full-on drop kicks. I thought at Mania we would see the extent of what he was going to do in the ring and that they would build up to it without making an explicit statement. I did not expect the way we learned this yesterday with the big announcement. And I get why they want to do it, boost SmackDown ratings. Triple H, the only announcement that was really, hey, the WWE puts the safety of our performers first and foremost. And that being said, we're so glad Daniel Bryan's coming back.
Yeah, look, as a fan, I don't know about you, but I loved SmackDown last night, and it was because of those two Daniel Bryan segments. But I still get nervous seeing him taking those bumps already, just because. And we'll get into it as we're going along. But the way they did it by sending that press release, I kind of liked how they did it because then it came across as like it was real. Like if they did it during the show. By the end, when they did the attack, you'd be like, wait, he's not supposed to take bumps, but is this a way for them to get more heat on Owens and Zayn, and he wasn't really cleared, that kind of thing. Hey, what's up, Matt?
Hey guys, how are you?
What's going on?
Nothing. I apologize for being a little bit late to everybody watching this and whatnot, but I got a city hall meeting I got to get to that was impromptu at 1:00. So I'm going to do this on my way there.
Now that's commitment. We're talking about. Did you get to check out SmackDown 205 Live and Mixed Match Challenge, all of them, or just one of them?
No, never, never. It's always going to be SmackDown. 205's got to do a lot to get me to come back. I know you guys think it's a better show now, but they still need to do more to bring me back.
I do have my criticisms of 205 Live, which we'll get to later. But we're talking about Daniel Bryan. I was mentioning how they sent the press release before the show. A lot of people were surprised they didn't just announce it on the show. I kind of liked how they did it because then that way it just proved that it wasn't a storyline. I think if they would have done it during the show, a lot of people would have thought it was storyline by the end as a way to get heat on Owens and Zayn. Yeah. And then say next week, like he was cleared, but he's not. Anyway, I think it just took out that doubt.
Yep.
So, really cool. Daniel Bryan, I doubt he's going to be working full time. He said in the past, if he gets cleared, he's not going to come back to a full-time schedule. So I'm sure, some live events, pay-per-views, and TV tapings. But huge news, man. This just totally changes WrestleMania for me.
100%. I now want to watch WrestleMania just because, a lot more than I did before this. I was getting a lot of messages from the fans that watch this show. And, I kept saying, like, I don't feel like it's WrestleMania. Even though 3 million people are pointing to a sign every single week on Raw and SmackDown, I still don't get that feeling. You know what I mean? I always get the feeling about a month out. For me, everyone's different when they get that feeling. Mine's about a month out. And I didn't get it this month. But with Daniel Bryan on that card, I'm excited as hell to watch the show. And you know what's crazy? They could have split this match. If they had a heads up on this, they could have split this in 2 separate big-ass matches.
Yeah, I think Daniel Bryan, the singles matches, to me, it's bigger. I mean, with where the storyline where it's gone, it makes sense what they're doing. But Bryan versus Owens, to me, seems like a bigger match than a tag match.
Yes.
Yeah. Although they've invested so much in Sammy and KO at this point, I mean.
So there you go, Glenn. There you go. You put Shane O'Mac. You marry him to Sammy. I'm sorry, and Sammy gets the ultimate rub right there. Sammy's taken up now even higher.
Yeah, I like how they did this last night. I'm surprised. I think they don't want to mess with fans' emotions, but I'm surprised they didn't issue a kayfabe statement today saying, Daniel Bryan, local medical facility lacerations, status unclear at this time due to the savage beatdown of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn last night.
I mean, they had to have known Monday that this angle was coming, so I wish they didn't do the stretcher stuff with Reigns. I feel like they're overdoing the stretcher thing.
You think they did know this? They knew that Kevin...
people backstage knew, according to Meltzer.
Yeah.
That Daniel Bryan, like Monday, they knew Daniel Bryan would be cleared?
Some talent knew.
Yeah.
Interesting. Then I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean...
And it was clearly in the works. I mean, we talked about it on Monday, how Bryan had said in an interview that there's a possibility that he'll be wrestling at WrestleMania. So definitely dropped that hint that there was something in the works, that he was waiting on something. So, and there it was.
I'm already, I don't know about you guys, but I want it for SummerSlam. I want The Miz versus Daniel Bryan. To me, I think that could be the feud of the year if they do this right after Mania.
Glenn, I love that.
I think it'd be awesome. Yeah, they could that had so much interest in it that it would take one segment to get fans back into it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like it's not like it's been too long and it's been forgotten about.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that could really make SmackDown. I mean, that could elevate it huge after Mania.
I could almost see them move Daniel Bryan to Raw now.
Just like SmackDown, you don't get to be good.
Right.
Yeah. Man, so last night, Daniel Bryan came out and they just let him talk. They just let him talk and speak from the heart, and all the credit to his wife and talking about his journey. I mean, just a great segment. Meaningful glances at the WrestleMania sign. I like that they split this up by giving him bookends of the show, is in essence. And I don't know about you guys, but I love how fast SmackDown went by because they had to shorten everything to fit in that 15 minutes at the top and 15 minutes at the end. This was a very fast-paced SmackDown, and I thought it worked very much in the show's favor.
Well, this was the show, right? Daniel Bryan, the opening segment and the end segment. That was the show. The rest was kind of filler. I'm having to look at my notes to remember what happened. But the opening and ending were so great that the show, I thought, was an easy A, maybe, A+ maybe, just because. I mean, Daniel Bryan, he's just one of those guys. He just connects, like almost more than any other wrestler in WWE. Totally. Where
no question. The closest we've seen, in my opinion, sorry about the beeping, guys.
Yeah.
Is Hulk Hogan back in his heyday. I know that's gonna sound crazy to some fans, but listen to the energy behind those cheers. It's just different. It's loud. It's a different kind of loud.
It's genuine too. It's not just people wanting to chant yes. They genuinely care about this guy. Like if you gave the yes chant to someone else, they wouldn't be as over as Daniel Bryan.
I mean, it's more. It's so much more than that. It's. I've never seen fans care about someone so much. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you feel that. I feel that with every yes. It's not just like you said, people robotically going yes. This is fun to do. They do that for everybody else, and they do that during segments that maybe they don't like and chant no or whatever. Right. That's when they do that shit. But when he's out there, like even when they're chanting Daniel Bryan on the freaking stretcher, like they don't do that. It's just it's awesome. It's why I love watching them, because I'm gonna watch the most raw and most empathetic wrestler by far.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to explain it. He makes me feel something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every time I watch him.
Did you get a little misty-eyed during the opening promo last night, Matt?
Yo, definitely. 1,000%. Yeah. Hell yeah.
I was doing good.
You just feel so, you just feel, it's like watching a movie, like a really emotional movie where you just feel so much for that character. You're just so happy that he's back, that it's like, man, you know what he's gone through, you know how bad he's wanted it, and he gets it. And like I said, he connects. You just like him. You just know he's a good dude. And like I grew up on, larger than life stars like the Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, and Bryan is not like a crazy. Yeah, he's like a normal guy, but he just connects, and he's one of the few guys since that time period that I really care if he wins or loses. Yeah. Usually I care as far as how it relates to business or what makes the most sense booking wise and where they should go. But with him, I don't care. I just want him to win. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah, and that was fantastic. Fantastic way to kick off the show last night. I mean, this is fantastic news. Like I said, this, like you said in that video yesterday, Matt, your reaction to it. I mean, this changes WrestleMania. I mean, this really elevates it, and could not be more looking forward to what kind of year Daniel Bryan's going to have. After that, we had a relatively
real quick. Let's recap what he said.
Yeah, so essentially he talked, kind of feel like I'm giving a book report here.
He said that he got cleared.
Yeah.
And that he doesn't know if when he's going to wrestle again, but he will wrestle again. Yes. And everyone knows where it's headed. Yeah, he was looking at the sign. Everyone was chanting WrestleMania. It was a really cool moment. I hate the finger pointing at the sign, but this was a cool way to do it.
Sorry, I got it. I'll forget to say this if I don't now. And I actually wrote this down. I never write down stuff when I watch the show of what I'm going to say. But listen, dude, do you realize what Daniel Bryan just did for Vince McMahon and then Triple H and Stephanie and then the owners years after them? He got an entire arena to chant WrestleMania that they're going to use in sound bites for the next 150 years. You realize that, right?
Yeah. When's the last time you heard someone chant WrestleMania, like a crowd chanting WrestleMania?
Never, ever.
Flagship event. They never chant it. And yeah, he got them chanting that. That's true.
Seriously. And pointing at the sign. He got the fans to point at the signs.
Yeah.
Like, again, they're going to use that in years to come as well. I'm telling you.
They're going to use that in those video packages for WrestleMania tickets going on sale and fans pointing at the sign.
Yes.
For sure. Yes.
Huge.
And the chanting of WrestleMania, they'll probably use it at the end of the video packages.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's everywhere. Absolutely true. I didn't even think about that, but
they owe him huge for that. Like, he should have a separate paycheck based on that.
Yeah. So that was awesome. Kudos to Daniel Bryan. Happy for him. Yeah, it's great. So that was the end of the segment. He said he has business to deal with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens when they get to the arena. They're not there yet, and he'll deal with them.
Yeah, and after that, we got a match: Rusev versus Nakamura with AJ Styles on commentary. Man, having to follow that opening segment, tough. This was what it was. It went fairly fast. Did you guys notice at the end, Rusev had Nakamura? Rusev actually had to let go of that pin because he was getting the 3 count.
Oh, I missed that.
What? No, wait, what?
When they were trading roll-ups back and forth at the end, Rusev had Nakamura. If you watch that, Rusev realizes, like, crap. So Rusev lets go. He just lets go of the pin and then fell back to get rolled up to give Nakamura the win. This was a fine match, but to me, that was the most notable thing about it. I thought AJ on commentary was hardly there compared to usual.
Me too.
It was clear, he's hurting with something, but it looks like it's not bad enough that they're gonna change the match. So they just had him sit there. You didn't see him do anything. He's very limited, and I don't know, man. Even if they did a stare down or whatever, Glenn, we talked about this a couple weeks ago when we said how cool it would be if they aired video packages and all that stuff. And I said, that's not going to happen. They're just going to do the same bland baby face buildup they always do. And that's kind of what they're doing. Now, if AJ wasn't injured, I'm guessing AJ would have gotten in there and they would be building to AJ and Nakamura versus not Owens and Zayn, but Rusev and Aiden. And then, tease dissension during that tag match. But we'll see where they go. But it looks like AJ versus Nakamura is still on. So.
Oh yeah, and speaking of packages, I like how they did the Asuka package. Again, Charlotte backstage reacting to it. Natalya walks in, setting up their match later in the night. I think that was effective, especially given that Asuka was there. Asuka was in the building for the Mixed Match Challenge, and they went with the video package instead. Less is more in this case. And then we saw AJ and Nakamura backstage, and I got to say that was probably their best exchange. Nakamura hit his beats.
It was.
Yeah.
There's just something, I don't know. When Nakamura does the cutesy stuff, he delivered it fine. It just, I'd like to see him more intense, I guess.
Let me ask you guys something. When I worked in New Japan with him, he was not this Nakamura. He was like Randy, like I told you guys, him and like Tanahashi were the Randy Orton and John Cena around 2003-ish. No, sorry, 2004-ish in WWE, like around that level. These are our next flagship there, you know what I mean, wrestlers of our company, our two hood ornaments going forward for the next 20 years. So when I had him there, like he wasn't this, but he wasn't also very intense. Was he intense like in his promos and things like that, like for New Japan when he was kind of within the realm of this character in the last few years? Or
I don't remember him doing this kind of stuff where he's like just smiling and delivering cute lines, but you know, it's Japanese, so
true.
I don't really know, but I mean, it was a funy line. AJ said something like, "What did he say?" He said, you're gonna say you're gonna beat me again."
Yeah.
Nakamura replied like, "What did he say? Something like, oh, I'm glad you think so," or something like that.
Yeah, it was cute. And people are pointing out, so that's why AJ seemed like he wasn't there on commentary. AJ sat there and watched the match and was not on commentary last night, which is a puzzling way to do things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good catch by the viewers.
Had to rest his voice or something. I don't know.
And so at the end, let's make sure to give the ending. So Nakamura did pin Rusev. Then Aiden English and Rusev started attacking Nakamura. AJ, again, was very limited. He slowly got up and during the beatdown, he acted like he was about to get in the ring. And then Nakamura took care of Rusev and Aiden English himself. So he cleared the ring.
Yeah. And after that backstage segment, we got Ty Dillinger versus Baron Corbin. Hey, Ty Dillinger was back on TV. I had to Google if he had the beard before because I couldn't remember. That's how long it's been since Ty Dillinger was on SmackDown.
He's had that before. Yeah. He's had a beard before, for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't as thick. But that's what I'm saying. We haven't seen the guy. We've barely seen the guy this year.
I know.
You know?
And he was number 10 on the SmackDown list.
Yeah, they didn't mention the list last night, did they?
No, I think they dropped that. Thank God.
Yeah. Oh, please let them drop the list. SmackDown will improve just by never mentioning that goddamn top 10 list again.
Yeah. Like what came of that? Just Jinder Mahal got to use it in a promo or two. That was the whole.
That was a writer's
stupid.
idea. That was a writer's idea probably, and this was someone saying, "Hey, you know what? Let's try it." They tried it, and nobody liked it. So they're like, "Oh, we'll just try it." And
they tried it, nobody liked it, and they kept doing it for weeks.
Well, they didn't do anything with it.
No, I just thought they did it with 1 week. That was it. No, they did.
No, they kept bringing it up.
They announced it, but they didn't. It didn't make any booking decisions. It didn't lead to any matches being made or any decisions being made. They just showed the list, and that was it.
Yeah, but the commentary and Jinder kept mentioning it for like 2 months after.
Hey, do you guys know? Yeah, someone, Scott Frame, noticing that they didn't have words flying on the screen except for the Mixed Match Challenge promo, but no words flying at the screen. So hopefully they got that.
And that's where the words flying across the screen fit. You want to put on something, put on the stupid mixed tag stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, what an improvement last night. So Baron Corbin beat Ty Dillinger, relatively short match. I mean, I hate to say it. It's just like, barely have a place in the hype of all this build up to Mania. Yeah, they're both going to be in the Andre, I'm sure.
Well, they said, like Baron Corbin said, he's going to be in the, and Mojo Rawley, right? I think they announced that. So, the end of that match, Corbin messed up the end of days. You remember how we were talking about how back in the day they would reshoot endings? This would have been one of those that they probably would have reshot, where Baron Corbin messed up the end of days and then threw him out of the ring. They had to redo it, but
Oh, speaking of moves, did you guys watch that video they released the other night of Ronda and Dana.
Yeah.
After Raw. What was that? Was that supposed to be a suplex that Ronda did when she just sort of backwards threw Dana?
It was messy. That whole. I'm surprised. I'm kind of surprised they released the video of it. I don't know if they'll show it on TV. They'll probably just. I would guess they're probably just going to show clips or edit it to clean it up. But it was kind of sloppy.
That was something. That could have probably used a redo. Natalya versus Charlotte Flair last night. This went a couple segments. This was one of the longer women's matches they've had in some time. Matt, what did you think of this?
Great match.
Yeah, I think the most notable thing was Carmella doing another fake cash-in.
Well, why are they having her lose this so close to WrestleMania? Unless the idea is losing and then she ends Asuka's streak.
Oh, Natalya beating Charlotte?
Yeah, what's the point?
We're a distraction.
We got 2 SmackDowns away from WrestleMania. Didn't Charlotte lose last week too? She took the pin in a tag match or something, or I don't know. A couple weeks ago, she lost to Ruby Riott in a tag match. But this is one of the biggest women's matches it could be that you have, and you're watering it down by having the champion get beaten in a nothing match for no reason.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Anyway, and there's not going to be a comeback story at Mania. I don't see Charlotte overcoming all this to beat Asuka. So it's a weird trajectory.
I don't know. I almost see Asuka's undefeated streak ending at Mania.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it kind of has to, the way they booked her.
Yeah, she's lost all her. She's losing so much steam. She's not like she's anything that special anymore that you really need to keep it going. I think maybe you have Asuka beat Charlotte, and then Carmella cashes in and beats Asuka, or Charlotte beats Asuka and then Carmella cashes in. And I think Carmella's leaving WrestleMania as the women's champ.
Really? Wow, that is a bold prediction.
I will say this: I think Charlotte. I think that what should happen is that Charlotte should win. What's her name cashes in on Charlotte. But to beat Asuka, it's got to take, you know what I mean? They should do something to protect it. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a really hairy situation, isn't it?
Yeah. And you know what? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It makes you think that they didn't even think about Carmella in the briefcase. The way to have these two go against each other, right? Because in a perfect world, yes, Asuka should be undefeated. She should be this badass and just dominating people within a minute of every match. That's it. And finally, we're here versus Charlotte. She's got the best female athlete this company has ever had. That's a fact. And they go head to head. Now it's a bigger match. Charlotte is the first one to make Asuka sell. This would have meant so much more if they did this right.
Yep. Absolutely. And now, I mean, all the steam has been taken out of this match already. I feel like
I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited for it, though. It's going to be a really well worked match, and I'm gonna like watching it.
It'll be good. Yeah, I just think from a build perspective, it could have been much more. And every week it's losing that. And you notice they're not committing to Asuka moving to SmackDown. They're not saying she's a SmackDown person now, and so that almost makes me think that this is a temporary thing, and then she's back on Raw, back to Raw after Mania. So this is just so that leads me to believe that she's losing there.
Well, I'll tell you. So, Matt, I know you refuse to acknowledge the existence of the continuity in the mixed match challenge, but they're saying that Asuka's streak applies there, even, which kind of telegraphs what the ending of that's going to be, and that's likely going to be against Charlotte and Bobby Roode as well. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, so I think they're either all in on this. I mean, I think they're all in on this. I don't see them dropping it.
I'd like to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Do you think they're dumb enough to have her have Miz get pinned, and then that's the way they get out of her being undefeated?
No, because they said if Miz gets beat, that ends her streak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that their way? It's a horrible way to do it, but.
I think if that would be the dumbest thing if they had her lose her streak on the mixed match challenge.
But she physically doesn't get pinned, technically.
Yeah. Well, Eva Marie eliminated her in an NXT Battle Royal a year and a half ago.
Come on, that don't count.
She actually lost tag matches in NXT, but that rule wasn't in place. But
they're stretching.
That's the rule.
They're stretching with this. Just have it be she hasn't tapped out or been pinned.
Or don't put her in it.
Yeah, seriously.
In the first place, because that gives away the ending.
Yeah. So we got singles action: Jimmy Uso versus Luke Harper. Uso's kind of promo ahead of that.
This was really good too.
This was a good match.
Yeah. Man, the Usos can work, even as singles guys. They were great.
So can Luke
and Harper. Yeah. These guys this was an underrated match. Like it was kind of a throwaway on a show, obviously building to a 3-way with New Day. I'm sure next week we'll have Rowan versus maybe Big E or something like that. The typical build for the tag matches. But
yes,
it was a good match, and it almost had you believing at times towards the end that Jimmy Uso was going to win.
Yeah. No, I thought this was good. Harper got the win, floored him with the clothesline cover for the pin. And after that, while the Usos tried to escape, beatdown did not really happen, but the Bludgeon Brothers stood tall in the ring. After that, we got Jinder Mahal cutting a promo. Bobby Roode, Randy Orton coming out, setting up for next week a tag match that's going to have Sunil Singh and Jinder Mahal against Bobby and Randy. This went fast. I'll give it that. I know a lot of people don't care for this. I mean, it is a triple threat now at WrestleMania. We've been calling it for weeks. That's happening. I can't get into this. Like whatever the angle is here, I want Roode to be a heel so bad.
I'm not fair to call on this anymore, guys, because he's a close friend, and so like anything he's in, I'm kind of like I can't give my honest opinion other than I hate him being a face and he should be a heel, like Glenn just said. I definitely agree with that.
I think we all agree on
that. Just like,
are you
Bobby,
really asking me that? Are you kidding me? Yes. Do you not know me? Of course.
Just they'd be like, you're an asshole. Who on earth is going to believe you're a baby face?
Not like that, but going, come on, dude, push him.
Yeah. No, I think we all agree on that. And unfortunately, I don't think this match makes the main card with how stacked it is now.
Really? No, this makes the main card.
Dude, you got Taker and Cena, which is going to get a lot of time. Ronda, that's going to get a lot of time. Reigns and Lesnar. Now AJ, AJ and Nakamura. Daniel Bryan in this tag match. The two women's title matches you would think are probably going to get on there. So that's already
two battle royals.
Two battle royals.
I think we're going to be surprised. I think there's one of those matches you just said are going to be taken off. I assure you.
One of those battle royals will be.
Randall Orton will be on the main card of WrestleMania. I assure this.
All right.
Yeah.
There's no way they're taking up. They wouldn't do that.
Yeah, Randy on the pre-show does seem weird.
Who did he wrestle last year?
Bray for the championship.
Oh, right. Right.
You've got to remember, he allowed himself, now booking wise, where he is on the hierarchy of overness, if you will, the totem pole, he's not. You know what I mean? I get it. He should be. Anybody else in this slot, we would say, pre-show for sure, right? But because of two things. One, he's a future Hall of Famer. He's been their hood ornament along with Cena for so many years. And this is how Vince always gets sentimental at WrestleMania. He always does. And the other part of it is also this you need to remember is that Randy allowed it didn't bitch about it and was all for it, being pushed all the way down to the very beginning of the card and being a fucking minion to the Wyatt family, if you remember.
Yeah.
Now, this is a future Hall of Famer, multi-time world champion, the man that Hunter has deemed 1,000 different times. And he was cool with that. And he did all of that gladly. Let me have, you know what I mean? May I take another, sir? Kind of a thing. And gladly went through that, took it, made it work the best of his ability. This is how and when they reward you for those things. I promise you he works on the main card.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I can see that. But then we also got the Miz with Seth Rollins and Finn. You got to think that's on the main card.
I know, right? I would love for that to be the main card. I feel they're going to get effed over. I hope they don't. I want them to get. Because here's the thing, I still don't understand how their pay works for Mania. So the reason I want them all to be on the card is because I want them to get paid more.
Right.
But as far as viewing goes, what do we care? We're turning on the network at what, 6:30, 7 p.m. and letting her rip until 12.
6:30, 7 in the morning.
Right.
Like, what do we care?
The pre-show to the pre-show. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they could really make the main card as long as they want it now. Seriously. Now that they don't have I mean, it's still on pay-per-view, but now the pay-per-view channels, pretty much the whole channel is dedicated to your show. You just got to let them know how long you're going. So the replay starts at the right time.
See, I didn't even know it was still on pay-per-view. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. So it still makes money. I mean, hey, Matt, did you know there are still like 2 or 3 million people that pay for AOL dial-up internet every month?
How many?
2 or 3 million. Wow. It's still a huge portion of AOL's business. So yes, there are still people that watch the WWE on their cable or satellite system. It's still a thing. Looking at the card right now, I think the Andre and the Cruiserweight final seem like the best candidates for the pre-show.
Sure.
I don't think finals for sure. I'm guessing, man, then we got the 2 tag matches, and the Usos not being on the main card has been kind of the storyline, right? So you almost feel like they have to be on the main card. Yeah, they're not going to put Strowman. They're not going to put Braun Strowman on the pre-show, are they?
Ooh.
Yeah. If it was the Bar versus anyone else, I could see them doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, I think they do. I think they do put him on the pre-show.
It could. I mean,
that's bullshit.
It's a lot of big stars. I mean,
they're not going to do it to the women. I think they're too afraid. Given last year when the SmackDown women were going to be on the pre-show,
I can almost see them doing it to Nia and Alexa. And they got one women's match on the main. They get,
me too,
or the Battle Royal for sure. I can easily see the Battle Royal being on the
Battle Royal makes more sense. But I think the first time they do something, I don't know if they're going to demote it to the kickoff.
What do you mean the first time?
The first WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the first time, because it kind of.
A Battle Royal, you guys, is a good breakup because they're having a lot of 3-ways, they're having a lot of singles. This is a good breakup by throwing a Battle Royal out there for bookending 2 important matches, let's say.
Yeah.
It gets the crowd back down.
So speaking of that Women's Battle Royal, they had Naomi and Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan last night in a tag match, second women's match of the night. Becky and Naomi won, but they did set this story that all 4 are going to be in the Women's Battle Royal. So they are sowing the seeds of storylines there. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a lot of room for legends. I mean, if they do 20 women, I think they've easily got 14 or 15. And
plus they said NXT.
Yeah.
They specifically said it was Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. So you gotta think there's probably 5-6 women from NXT going to be in there.
Yeah, if there's any legends, I mean,
Peyton Royce and those.
Right. And Ember Moon, she was in the Rumble. Kairi Sane.
Yeah, maybe Trish and Lita would be my guesses for who comes back.
I think they already did that in the Royal Rumble. So I almost feel like you don't need any legends. Why have legends when they're not going to get that big pop coming, because they kind of,
that's true.
It's not like the Royal Rumble where you get a specific entrance and there's just that big surprise element. You're just kind of thrown in there with everyone at the beginning. So, I mean, you could have 1 or 2, but I just think it would be kind of a waste to have Trish or Lita in there when they just did the Rumble with them.
If they were brought back in a storyline where they could actually cut some promos, backstage, even if it's something like that they just post on the internet, about them being a part of the Battle Royal, like a month in advance when they first announced it, let's say, that could be cool because then you could put them all over the billboard, especially Trish, right?
Yeah.
For advertising purposes, and then people will look forward to that pop.
And plus, you could put some stakes on it. You could put like the winner of the Battle Royal gets a title shot, and then it adds a little more because right now it's just a throwaway match.
Yeah, and Trish wants to come back and it's in great best shape of her life, and that would make so much more. It would be cool.
Yeah. I'm glad they're doing Sasha and Bayley at the Rumble, but I'm telling you, Trish and Sasha, that, especially after their little face-off at the Rumble, man, I would love to see that.
Yeah, I don't see Trish coming back for even a part-time schedule.
Yeah, they don't really have any spare women that aren't in a storyline now.
She does look good, but with her kids and her business and everything,
she doesn't care probably, right?
Yeah.
I
think if she wanted to, who knows? You can never say never, but I don't see it. But yeah, Becky Lynch submitted Sarah Logan. I don't know how many times I feel like I've seen this match between Naomi and Lynch against the Riot Squad. It's good that they had an extra women's match on SmackDown. I like that they're doing more, but because they need to mix it up a little.
I'm a fan anytime Naomi is on my screen. I'm so impressed by her athletically and charisma wise. She's the whole package when you think about it.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
but without this secondary time slot for women's matches that they're making, we wouldn't see a Naomi regularly. I don't think we'd see her every other week, every 2 weeks.
I definitely think they should have more than one women's segment. I just wish they'd mix it up a little more. Riot Squad versus 2 women, Riot Squad versus 3 women.
I love the Riot Squad. I'm saying get them off there for a minute. I'd rather see somebody else go against Naomi. I don't know.
Yeah, a little more story, I think, would go a long way with this. And just getting people invested. So, and then, man, I was pleased as punch when we got to 20 minutes till the end of the show and Daniel Bryan came out there to do the segment calling out Sammy and Kevin.
Yeah, because you knew it was going to be a pretty lengthy segment, not just a quick throwaway, right? Because it's the end of the show and you still got 20 minutes left. So you knew you were going to see something big.
We're not rolling right through that. Hang on here, folks.
No.
You're pleased as punch? What?
Do you ever, Matt? You do this because you're doing.
Did you grow up in Mayberry? Was like Andy Griffith your dad? Pleased as punch, Pa. I was pleased as punch, Pa.
Matt, you have to talk a lot during the day in your lines of work. I have to talk a lot during the day in my line of work. I spend a lot of time on the phone. Do you ever have when you just reach into your head for something and you're even surprised by what statement you put out? Because when I was saying that, I was like, where did I pull this from in the back of my article? So thank you for drawing attention to it.
Pleased as punch.
Pleased as punch.
It's a thing, folks.
It's a thing. This was a good segment. This was nice and, like you said, long. And I was very surprised that Daniel was able to. I thought they were just going to put heat on him immediately, and then that would be it, and just shut him down and get sympathy on him. I love that they let him blow a little comeback in there.
That was awesome. He looked great. Yes, those kicks and the.
Oh my God!
All right, so real quick, let's recap this and then get into it.
Yeah, so the idea was he came out there, told Sammy and Kevin that they went too far. They showed some of the replay from last week of them beating down Shane. We got to hear those wonderful noises Shane was making again. Mm-hmm. And Daniel saying, hey guys, and really he laid out a great case. Shane admitted he went too far, gave you guys a match at WrestleMania, and this is what you did. And then proceeded to fire Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, saying
he did it. It was the nicest wrestling firing they've ever shown. Oh my God!
Yeah, this isn't forever. It's just for now, guys.
He's like, hey, look, I've been fired twice. I came back. You can always come back, but for now, you're fired. And it was the nicest wrestling,
absolutely,
by far,
absolutely. And then Sammy and Kevin. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. That's how it would be. That's exactly how it would look if Daniel Bryan were to fire somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, I mean, it fit his character. I thought it was very well done.
Yeah.
This isn't forever. It's just for now. That's a real quote. That is what they usually do say to a lot of talents.
Wow.
Yeah.
Swear to God. Yeah. They don't say we wish you the best in your future endeavors. The .com site used to always put that up there, but no one ever said that to you in person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sammy and Kevin did not go quietly and proceed to beat up Daniel Bryan. And Daniel then got in some offense. If you thought, oh, he's coming back, he's going to do a safer style, this is going to be a very restrained, more technical Daniel Bryan. Oh, no, flying drop kicks into the corner, taking bumps on the ring apron. This loud and clear, man. Daniel Bryan is back.
Yeah, and those kicks he was given, you compare those to the Miz's kicks, because when the Miz throws those kicks, they look so weak. And it's just like he doesn't have that snap, like you can't train it. It's like muscle memory. I don't know what it is, but when Daniel Bryan delivers those, it looks
they're lethal.
Legit.
They're lethal. Yeah. They're lethal as hell. And there's, like you said, the snap and there's pop to it.
Yeah.
And the other Seth Rollins got some good ones. So does what's his name? Who he's working? Not Miz either. The other one, Finn Balor. Because these guys legit trained like that, for years. You know what I mean? Right. They've done MMA crossover training, kickbox, and they've done all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Miz stealing Daniel's stuff, he went into the gym and just started working on it one day. They started kicking a bag and working on it to make it good enough to do on TV. You know what I mean?
His kicks look more friendly. Like they'd be easy to catch.
They are. They definitely are. But dude, he did. Hey, hang on, guys. We need to make note of this. Asterisk. Daniel Bryan did all this in a friggin' booty tight, nut hugger tight suit jacket. I was really impressed by that.
Yeah.
He looked great. I don't know. Do you guys get nervous when he's taking bumps right now?
Absolutely.
Yes. On the corner, I was like, oh shit, no, don't do this.
Yeah, it's like he just came back. Just go a little easy. Just just do the punches and the kicks and just leave it at that.
I think it's going to go away for us, though. I think it will eventually go away, because I didn't look at it any other way. With the flying drop kicks in the corner,
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking, oh, he made his head here. And I was like, maybe either I'm uncaring or you know what I mean? He sucked me into the moment properly where I'm not worried about those ancillary things.
Right. But yeah, they did a vicious beatdown on Bryan after Bryan made his comeback. They power bombed him into the side of the ring. How bad does that hurt, Matt?
Oh, you guys, that's like they're not exaggerating when they tell you that's the hardest part of the ring. It really is. There's nothing. You want to bump perfectly in the middle of the ring, and the heavier you are, believe it or not, you might hear a bigger bump from like me when I snap bump in the middle, or Braun. It's easier for us big men, believe it or not, to absorb that middle of the ring bump. Okay. When you're 100-something pounds or 200 pounds, it's much harder on those little guys than it is us big guys, believe it or not, because we make the ring come in more because we're heavier. All right. The lighter you are, the harder that, like the girls especially, I'm like, ooh, every time I see them bump, because they don't make the mat move at all, and they're just eating it. Now we go to the corner and the sides of the ring, there is no give at all. Zero give, and I can't believe anybody could take that bump. I don't know how guys do that. And they're not broken in half, how their back is not split open, how their necks aren't messed up. I don't understand how they're able to do it.
Man, I don't want to sound like Daniel Bryan's mother, but I felt like you should not be taking that move right now. You just came back. Take it easy.
Everybody that takes that, I say that to myself. You know what I mean? But as a fan, I'm like, this is good heat on Kevin.
Oh, huge.
Yeah. Well,
huge.
It was. I mean, the beatdowns they gave Shane, and you know what? I wish they didn't do that Bludgeon Brothers beatdown on the Usos, and because that was so brutal, and it was for a match that very likely could end up on the pre-show. Save that kind of stuff for the big angles,
That's why I'm not subscribed. I know Meltzer reported everybody knew. I just have a feeling that maybe they didn't. It wasn't a sure thing. I'm telling you, if they knew they were going there, like this was written out, let's say 2 weeks ago, there's no way what you just said would have happened with the Bludgeon Brothers. I promise that.
Right. No. It wasn't 2 weeks ago. It was over the weekend. Like that. They knew for sure. So I think he'd been working on it for weeks. Like he hasn't been on TV for weeks. And then I think the confirmation just happened the last couple of days where Joseph Maroon finally gave his okay.
Well, there you go. And that's why, they could have predicted that, WWE.
Yeah. So, and it also, real quick, we didn't mention this earlier, but Daniel Bryan had been talking about wanting to go to the Indies if WWE didn't clear him in September when his contract's up. It looks like he's going to stay.
Of course.
So, yeah. So he's not people that were hoping to see him at Wrestle Kingdom facing Okada and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't look likely.
I like his matchups here better, quite honestly, and I can't believe I'm saying that. But I really like the WWE's fresh new talent to work against him. I can list 10 guys off the top of my head like that I'll pay money to watch him work. Joe,
Miz not
AJ,
not for a match standpoint, but from that heat.
In fact, I think they make the angle, whatever happens in Mania, maybe Bryan turns on Shane or whatever happens. I think Bryan becomes a member of the roster. I put this on Twitter yesterday. People didn't think it was that nuts. I think Miz maybe becomes the general manager of SmackDown to just mess with Bryan for a couple months, rebuild their feud, let Daniel wrestle some other guys, and then SummerSlam have a huge match between them.
They usually won't take an active full-time wrestler and put him in that role because they need him, wrestling. They need him filling those spots. I think it would be a good storyline.
Especially given how many heels SmackDown has. I think it would completely change SmackDown and make it a much more interesting show.
With Miz, though, you're getting like three things. You're getting a show out of him, a talk show. You're getting a champion, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll still be, well, maybe he won't be champion after this match, but you have that, I don't know what level of wrestler you guys want to call him, but he did main event WrestleMania. There's a lot of things you can do with Miz in the ring still, and getting other talents over, even himself still to this point, versus putting him in as a GM just to screw with DB. I don't think we need to be knocked in our heads to really look back deep in time to figure out the feud between them. Right. That's their original feud. I think everybody remembers.
Oh, I mean, going back to NXT, the original NXT.
I mean, that's really easy for everyone to remember as fans, right? You don't need to do that much work. And that's what makes that angle we want to see it, because we know what it's about. We know the backstory. We know the foundation of it.
Yeah.
That's what makes it sexy.
To your point, Matt, when you're naming, you said 10 guys off the top of your head. You got guys like Ricochet now in NXT too, Rollins.
Miz is like, I'm being serious, 7 or 8 on that list for me.
Yeah, I mean, you could, if Roman Reigns is winning the title, right? Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns had an awesome match at Fastlane a few years ago. You could have that. Daniel Bryan challenging Reigns for the title. I mean, that would be huge. If they go all the way with Daniel Bryan this time and not put him, and again, I know they're going to be nervous about putting him in a main event slot with his history of injuries, but if he shows that he's, completely healed and is not getting injured, and he wins that, that confidence.
Guys, if Brock comes back, what about Brock one day? I mean, there's here it is, guys. I'll give you one-on-ones of who I want to see him work a match with and an angle. Okay, really quick. Rollins, Balor, Sammy individually, Kevin definitely individually. We said Miz earlier. You said Roman, Braun. God, who else did I have on this list from the other show? AJ. AJ.
Nakamura. Did you say Nakamura?
Nakamura. That's like 7 or 8 right there. Yeah. I mean, that's not even really thinking deeply. You know what I mean? Like everyone's a fresh matchup.
It adds a ton to the roster. Yeah,
pretty much. Which is great, but I think they're going to keep him as far away from Roman as possible because everything they've done with this year-long plan to get Roman Reigns over and Roman winning against Brock, it would be suicidal for them to put Daniel Bryan versus Roman.
Yes, good call.
Yes, yeah. Unless they turned Roman heel, and that would be a great way to turn him heel, is have him in a feud with Bryan. But
Daniel Bryan is his kryptonite. Daniel Bryan is what, like, single-handedly tore down us picking Roman as our guy out of the field, if you remember.
Yeah, it killed Batista too.
Oh, it killed Batista too. Yeah, it was great.
So,
but it's good, man. I mean, the year. I mean, like no joke. Like the year, not just WrestleMania, but 2018 is looking a lot better post Mania for the WWE right now and what they can do creatively.
Yeah, let's just hope they don't blow it.
Is his part? That's what's cool about Daniel Bryan. We've proven they have blown it, and he's so damn over.
Yeah. Dude, that year, this is such a cool bookend, kind of. Remember WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans was when he won the title. Now WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, he's coming back, Oh, yeah. So his greatest achievement, and now he's coming back at that same arena, so at the same stadium. Very, very cool stuff. And
Hey guys, I got to run now.
Okay.
I got a meeting here in about 5 minutes. I just wanted to say thank you, everyone watching. Sorry I wasn't able to stay on for the other 2 stuff, but I didn't watch it, and I don't want to patronize y'all that are watching this.
All right, man. All right, take care, man. Have fun in your meeting.
See you Monday.
All right, guys. Love you all. Thanks for following along. Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Take care.
So last bit of trivia going around with the Daniel Bryan return. So you were talking about New Orleans. People are saying, here's a guy that was trained by HBK. HBK, another wrestler who retired and came back and had a very, very good run. So yeah, some nice parallels there. Mixed match challenge. What are they doing with Braun and Alexa, man? I mean, this was
that show is such a waste of time now. And the writer, I don't know if it's still Ryan Warden. It was his idea, his concept, and he's done so much good stuff that I hope it's not him, because the promos that they do for their show are so cheesy. It's just a play off of the other person's catchphrases. If you watch the promos that they build, that's all it is. And then everyone who's not a married couple, they tease like something romantic. I mean, Miz and Asuka and Rollins and Sasha are like the exceptions, but everyone else, they're teasing like a love interest. And it's like, just because you put 2 people together, it doesn't mean that they're instantly, having the hots for each other. So
yeah,
Alexa and Braun, they're teasing that Alexa's about to kiss him at one point. And it's so stupid. Anyway, Braun crashed Miz through the barricade.
That was cool.
Yeah, which was cool, which allowed Asuka to get the win.
Yeah. Man. So, hey, Connor's Cure didn't win this. Everyone from the beginning was saying so. But with the streak on the line, I think we know where this is going. Now, the second chance poll for next week, I thought was very interesting, of who's going to face Bobby Roode and Charlotte Flair. Every couple was campaigning for this except for Sasha Banks and Finn Balor. Sasha actually told people to vote for other teams, and then Sasha and Finn won with 40% of the vote. Yeah.
How did she say it?
She was saying, well, I know I'm voting for Bayley and Elias. She would say things like that. They didn't like look at Rusev and Lana like they made all these videos pretending to be the other couples. Like everyone else worked really, really hard to win this vote. And then Finn and Sasha got 40% of the vote.
I think that kind of shows you how realistically over that Rusev and Lana are too, you know? You would think that they would have got that vote.
The voting process was also kind of stupid. It was using a hashtag on Facebook.
Yeah.
Which is not native behavior.
Yeah.
So that happened last night. There's a backstage video where Braun and Alexa almost get that kiss again, but they're interrupted by a fan. I wonder if this
no, it has all the stuff they've been doing on here, except for Rude and Charlotte making googly eyes at each other once. Other than that, nothing is really carried over.
Yeah, let's see, man. Asuka and The Miz are going to win this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man. So 205 Live last night. So I did not watch it, but what happened?
Another good show. There was one selfie promo that TJP did that was the only thing that I thought had WWE cheese on it. The rest I thought was really good. There is an issue with 205 Live, and that is no one seems like a big star. Like it's just a lot of guys that having good matches, but you're not necessarily invested in them, but the matches are really good. You know,
wasn't that Vince's whole point in giving them characters? And
yeah, but then the problem with Vince is he's making them all comedy characters, like, Jack Gallagher wrestling in a suit, and
that's a good gimmick. I mean, I always thought that was a good gimmick.
But it's not like a main event gimmick. It's not like a top guy. And I feel like they need to kind of find who their top guys are. And because none of these guys seem like they have much charisma is the problem.
It's been the problem all along with this. I mean, they tried to make it TJP and Brian Kendrick. That kind of worked for a week or two. But I mean, Enzo was the only real star they ever had.
Yeah,
on the show.
Had like main event charisma for sure. Neville had a lot of charisma.
Yeah,
and Austin, he did have charisma, but they didn't really go all the way with him. But you had Lince Dorado versus Hideo Itami. This is the first time I think I can remember them doing a DQ on 205 Live, at least in a long time. If someone in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so they're building to Hideo Itami and Hideo Itami and Akira Tozawa against Lince Dorado and Grand
Metalik. Yeah.
Or Kalisto. I don't know. One of those tag teams, because they're going to be doing that tag team tournament soon.
And that's not a reflection on all luchadors being confusing. It's the way the WWE books luchadors is confusing. On Lucha Underground, everyone has a very distinct character. On the WWE, it's just, the guy in the mask.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They had TJP beating Kenneth Johnson via submission, who's basically, a job guy. But they made the main event out to be a big deal. Mustafa Ali and Drew Gulak, both those guys get great promos about how much it meant. Great as in they felt real, or as real as they could be without overly scripting it. Cedric at times did appear to be reading, but it definitely seemed more real than a lot of the promos you see today. So I like that, but again, it's kind of bland from a character standpoint, but a really good match. Mustafa Ali won by pinfall. Mustafa's looked great in this tournament and just looked great lately. So it's him and Cedric Alexander at WrestleMania 34 for the Cruiserweight title.
Did you run the photos, or did you see the photos of the attendance for 205 Live last night?
I did not.
There may be 500 people in the audience.
Yeah. I mean, they were quiet. They were chanting for Mustafa Ali a lot during that match, the people that were there.
Yeah.
But that's been the big, again, I feel like if this show was in Full Sail, it would be a hot show, but it just comes across as a dead show with really good wrestling right now.
Yeah, it also helps the dark match last night, I don't think was enough to get people to stay. I forget what it was, but I think it was Jinder tagging with someone against Nakamura and like Bobby Roode.
Yeah, it's funny. Usually when AJ is in the main event, you see people staying, through it. They're more likely to stay. So when you talk about drawing power, not many wrestlers mean much in the numbers, but as far as getting people to hang on and stay, AJ is the guy on SmackDown. Yeah.
So this is good. I was just looking at Wrestling Inc. and saw this headline: WWE removes Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's profiles.
Yep. It's a good way to sell the angle.
Absolutely, man. I want that statement. I don't think they're going to issue the statement about Daniel, though. I think that's too they can't do it today. But
he'll be. Plus, you only got 2 SmackDowns left, so he's going to be back on next week's show for sure to set up this match. To set up WrestleMania.
Yeah. Oh man. Crazy. I just can't believe this is happening. When we said Monday, who knows, maybe tomorrow night on SmackDown, we'll know that Daniel Bryan's coming back. I really thought they were going to ease us into this far more than the way they did it. I mean,
I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic, man. So speaking of returns from injury, Jeff Hardy, Samoa Joe, and Big Cass, what's the latest on those 3?
Samoa Joe was backstage at Raw, and so was Big Cass. And it looks like so both of those guys are ready to go whenever they need to be used. Jeff Hardy also, got cleared. And so all 3 guys, got ready by Mania. It remains to be seen if any or all of them make it in some fashion. Man, you got a spot open with Braun's partner.
Yeah.
Whether they go with Elias or one of those guys or someone completely random. So yeah, they're all cleared.
So who should be worried? I know they don't do the cuts after Mania anymore, although they've done them selectively. I believe, didn't Simon Gotch get let go like a week after Mania last year?
Yeah, they don't do the mass cuts as much as.
But I'm thinking Mike Kanellis has probably got to be a little worried.
I don't think so. I don't think so because I don't see them cutting Mike and keeping Maria, and they're not going to cut Maria when she's pregnant. So
that's true. So okay, so they're safe there.
And it could be, with Mike Kanellis, it could be, who was it? Jey Uso got injured, and they kept Jimmy off the whole time while Jey was out. And then once maybe he worked one tag match or something, but could be they're just waiting for her to come back. But that could still be a bit, even after she gives birth, probably a few months at least.
The Colognes are still under contract.
Yeah, Primo's been working. One of them, the Epico. Is injured. Primo's been working house shows.
They're not. I don't think they're going to cut Goldust. I don't think they're going to cut Kurt Hawkins.
No.
I think the Miz Taraj is safe. Yeah, it's kind of weird. There's not a lot of. You think the roster is really full, but there's not a lot of completely.
Well, you could cut all those guys, and it doesn't make a difference, right?
It's true. Well, but you need
people in those roles anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to see, this is going to be one of the biggest rosters they've ever had if there's more NXT call-ups and all these people back from injury. Kind of crazy. Some people are saying Dana Brooke. I don't think that's going to happen. I think she's one personally, given the year she's had. I don't think they're cruel enough to do that after.
You just never know. They're weird with the cuts. No one saw Emma coming. They were using her. She was kind of in the midst of getting the most TV time she had since in a while, and then she cut her. So you just never know. Sometimes the cuts just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, someone's mentioning Zack Ryder. I'd forgotten about Zack Ryder. Where has Zack Ryder been?
I just feel like he's been with the company too long. I don't know.
But that happens. Don't ask me why. For some reason, I was reading a Wikipedia article on Hornswoggle the other night. Hornswoggle was there for the better part of 10 years.
Yeah, that's true.
They put him in a movie. He had all those angles, the other thing, and then it was just like, nope, bye, Hornswoggle.
Yeah, Darren Young had been there a while too. So
yeah, man, this is just such an exciting time with everything going on right now. And then buried in all of these other stories, man, what a day yesterday for this news to come out. The launch of the AAF, the Alliance for American Football. Dick Ebersol's son, who made the 30 for 30. This was the XFL documentary. Is launching a football league, and his dad might be involved, and it's launching a year before the XFL is coming back. What's the story on this, Raj?
Man, yeah. So new football league, and they're going to be launching next year, February 9th. They already have a TV partner with CBS. It's and Dick Ebersol is on the board, so he's involved.
That's huge TV sports guy.
Huge, and they're saying they're going to be complementary with the NFL, so they're going to work with the NFL, not try to be opposition. They're not positioning themselves to be a rival. They're basically describing it as almost like a feeder system for the NFL. And man, it's kind of the same idea as the XFL. 8 teams. They're going to introduce them next month. They're going to eliminate kickoffs. It's I wish I could have seen Vince McMahon's face when he learned of this news, because he took out $100 million to start the XFL. I don't know how much money he spent on it so far.
Get those deposits back.
Yeah, because he would, if he had the same idea as he did 10 years ago, or whatever it was, because they started the week after the Super Bowl. That's when this league would be starting, but a year earlier. This league's going to have a year heads up on them. Man, is there demand for 3 football leagues, much less 2?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's a rough deal for Vince. Although
he never could have cooperated with the NFL. There never would have been.
No. He wasn't as anti-NFL this time around. Last time he was called the NFL the no fun league. Yeah, and just rip it and talk and just rip everything about it. The NFL hated him, and that caused the sports media to go against the XFL from the get-go. This time around, I mean, there really hasn't been much news out of the XFL. It's been very quiet. I mean, really, right now, it's a domain name and a Twitter account. But Vince, I gotta think. I wonder if this causes him to drop it.
Yeah, man. But that has repercussions. I mean, for what that would mean for the WWE. I mean, I don't think Vince was ever going to retire.
Vince's partner, of all people, his partner in the in the XFL was pretty much Dick Ebersol. It was NBC, but it was through Dick Ebersol. He was the one that did it, and yeah, that's crazy. That dinner at the end of that. Did you see that 30 for 30 on the XFL?
Great documentary.
Great documentary made by Chris Ebersol, who's starting this league, and that dinner at the end with Vince and Dick Ebersol talking about how if they would do it all over again. And now they both are involved in separate leagues. It's crazy.
XFL has the name, both good and bad. I think it's more of a positive than a negative at this point.
Really?
Yeah, because we look back on it. I mean, we've been talking about it. The XFL, when I think about that single season, and granted, I'm in a market where you were in San Francisco at the time. I mean,
yeah,
people in the Bay Area liked that team. Those events did very well.
No. At that time, people in the city hated what they were doing with the cheerleaders, and you know how liberal San Francisco is.
I know a lot of people that went to those games and thought it was a hell of a lot of fun.
The first game drew well, and then it dropped significantly. Now they did get people in the stadium, but it was maybe 10, 15,000, in a 60,000, 70,000 stadium.
Well, it was the lower level. But no, I know a lot of people that went, had a great time, and are excited about it coming back. It was different, and it was more
historic
affordable.
Low ratings, the lowest ratings on network TV up until that point.
Yeah, and now it would be a hit. I'm sure.
It wouldn't be the lowest rated.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like with those ratings now, that'd be a hit.
Not for sports.
Yeah,
even for sports, that's very low.
Yeah. There are shows on cable that are getting renewed that do 300,000 viewers a week.
Right, but that's that for sports you don't see that.
Yeah,
you don't see network sports with ratings like that.
Yeah, man. It's just nuts. It's nuts. This has happened. I'd love to know the behind the scenes reaction.
God, I wish there was a what's the phrase? That was something on a wall,
a fly on the wall.
Yeah. Just seeing Vince's reaction, but it's crazy.
Yeah, man. And God, this has been a hell of a week. I feel like what a turnaround.
Yeah.
What a turnaround from a week ago. WWE pulled themselves out of controversy, told some stories, did an amazing return, building up WrestleMania. It helps in overlooking some of the rough spots,
Dude, in the last week, the Moolah name change seems like that was a month ago,
And by the way,
the John Bravo Roman Reigns,
seems
like that was a month ago too.
Yeah, aside from this AAF thing, Vince was having, pretty decent week by comparison. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to Mania. I can't believe so. What do you think? 6.5 hours, the main card show?
The main card, I'd guess 4.5 to 5, and then the prelims in another 2 hours.
Okay, we'll see.
It's gonna be a long day.
Gonna be a long weekend, a long week. So, are you going to New Orleans at all?
Yes. So I'm gonna be going until Saturday. So I'll be back here for Mania itself.
Nice.
So yeah. 1 year I went to Mania and it was just too crazy on the site, and I'm just constantly on my phone, so I can't do that. So, but yeah, going there for a couple of nights. Yeah,
Mania itself is probably the one part. If I had to pick a part to skip of the whole thing, that's probably the one.
Yeah,
cool, man. So we're gonna be back here Monday. Was it 2 more Raws?
Yeah,
WrestleMania. Wow,
2 more Raws, 2 more SmackDowns. It's coming.
Cool, man. So, what should people look for on the site? What do you got?
Interview with Jeff Jarrett coming up. More from the interview with James Ellsworth. Then just ton. I mean, God, it's so busy. Like the Daniel Bryan story isn't even the top story on the site right now. So it's just been such a busy week. So just keep checking it out.
Wrestling for all that. Raj's Twitter account is Raj Giri _303. I'm at Glenn Rubenstein on Twitter. Would greatly appreciate a follow. And stay tuned to Wrestling Inc. for more. We'll be back here Monday night to talk about Monday Night Raw, folks. Until next time, take care.